fail. Spiral development is a term that came from military purchasing, where the US military would spend 10 years and $1 billion and buy something that didn't work. And so the idea of spiral development is you do a little version of, but a complete version of the project. Then you go back and you add more features and do a bigger spiral and then a bigger spiral. But each spiral ends with a complete version of the project, but expanding the resources. So you want to keep trying to finish the whole project. In 2 weeks, we'll have an assignment on laser cutting. And a common mistake is you design your parts, you cut out a whole bunch of parts, and when it comes time to put it together, you find you didn't get the joint right. So spiral development would be you first make a project that just has a single joint. When you get one joint right, then you make a project that, say, has one face mating. When you get a mating face right, you then do the whole project. So don't do it in one go, do it in spirals. Another example is in molding and casting, you'll spend a week making a mold, and then you'll cast in it old rubber, and it doesn't cure, and it destroys your mold. So you want to first cast a little test part to make sure everything's working, then cast the big part. Once you start doing things like making electronics, you'll be confronted by it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And so one way to fix something that doesn't work is to start with a big thing that works and remove parts. The other way is to start from a little thing that works and add parts. It doesn't work to be somewhere in between. And that leads to a really important principle is hierarchy and modularity. Rather than doing one big project, you want to break your project into little sub-projects you can develop and test separately and then aggregate them into the bigger project. This is a really good book I recommend called The Mythical Man Month, written by the person who ran IBM's 360 project that almost killed IBM. And it's full of insights like a pregnancy takes 9 months no matter how many women you assign to the task. These really interesting observations about how to think about managing a project as a skill. So some of you are going to fail on each of these skills. Part of this class is going to be a weekly discipline about experiencing them. And you really want to think explicitly about project management as a skill, something you do consciously, not just an implicit, you don't just come and work, you really think about how to manage yourself in a project as a skill that you'll be learning.